So hello my dear friends, welcome back. Welcome to your channel Cooking Astrology. First of all, I would like to thank all of you for subscribing my channel and liking my videos. Thanks a lot. So today in this video, let's try to understand one of the most wonderful planets in Vedic astrology, and that is planet Saturn. Now Saturn in Vedic astrology is also known as Shani Graha. Shani, or some call it as a Shanichara. Shanichara means the slow moving planet. Saturn represents the slow activities. If you find some person is very slow or doing something very slow, that is Saturn. If there are certain tasks that will take 20-30 years to accomplish, that is also Saturn. If you are working on a one large scale project that will going to take more than 30-50 years to complete, that is Saturn. Anything which is operational from past more than 100 years is also Saturn. Anything which is long or anything which is prolonged is Saturn. This is also the most misery giving planet of Vedic astrology, because Saturn is a Karma Pradhan Graha. If you want to understand in one simple sentence, Saturn represents Karma or Karma. That is why this is ruling the two most important zodiac signs of the sign of Capricorn, that is your Karma, and the sign of Aquarius, that is the gains which you are going to receive based upon that karma. Now Capricorn is one of the most misunderstood kind of energy in Vedic astrology, and Capricorn is the Rashi that actually falls in the 10th house of the Karam Bhav in the Kal Purusha Kundli. Now Saturn is going to take accountability of all your karmas. If you are not doing your work in a sincere manner, Saturn is also going to keep a check over that thing. If you are skipping that something, if something which take 20 years for its completion and you are skipping most of the things, suppose you are a contractor, bad contractor, you want to bridge a build, okay, you want to build one bridge actually, and that bridge is going to take 5 years for its completion, and this requires all the concrete, all the raw material, all the construction activity, because that is Saturn. All these things, construction activities are Saturn, and that will take near about 5 years for its completion. Now you are skipping some of the things, maybe not taking the geometry into consideration, architect into consideration, or forces into consideration, and then you are, okay, let me complete this bridge within next 2 years and hand over the project to the government, and within next 1 year that bridge is collapsing, many people are dying. Now who is responsible for that thing? That is the contractor who is skipping the process. Now Saturn is that planet that will teach you to do one step at a time. Don't skip anything. If you skip any process of Saturn, there is going to be a complete devastation that is going to happen. And that is the reason why Saturn matures at the age of 36 only. Until and unless Saturn is not fully matured in the Kundli, Saturn will not hand over you something, because you are not capable for receiving that part. If you are not capable of receiving $1 million and Saturn is going to give you $1 million, you will not be able to handle the energy of that $1 million, because you are not capable. Now if the Saturn is very strong in the Kundli, very strong means posited in its own zodiac sign, in the exaltation zodiac sign, or forming some sort of a Neech Bhang Raj Yoga in the Kundli, or if Saturn is acting as a Yog Karka Graha and posited in the very well kind of a dignity, then this is considered as a very strong Saturn in the Vedic astrology. Now if Shani Graha is very powerful, or if it is extremely powerful in the Kundli, Saturn is going to create a lot of restrictions and barriers in your life. Like you will not be able to skip that part. It's not like that you are skipping the 9th standard and then directly jumping into the 12th standard. That is why Saturn is responsible for all the planning and structure. Every society, every nation functions or built upon some sort of a structure. So that structure is actually set by Saturn. That is why all the policemen, they are also seen through planet Saturn. But is their main work, their role, responsibility? So policeman is there to provide the safety, security, to look after if there are evil forces that are arising, to kill them, to punish them. That is why there are different court system, high court, supreme court, different lawyers, advocates are up there that are keeping a strong check whether the laws or the constitution of some country, if it is going with the, every person is abiding this thing or not, that is Shani Graha. Now, Saturn is the presetted rules actually. These are the human designed things. Or if you go back even into the maybe 500 to 1000 years back, you will see the king is there and then the praja. Praja means the normal people. So king is going to set some different rules, restrictions, different kind of a tax system over the poor people. You need to do this thing. If you are cropping, if you are cultivating, you need to give 10% tax to me. In this way, you can only cultivate the crops. Otherwise, I will not give permission. So that taking the small pinch out of everything or every pocket out, that is also Saturn. Government is taking the tax out from your pocket, that is Saturn. And that tax is utilized for the betterment of society, betterment of other people, in building the hospitals, in building the schools also, different infrastructure system. So in order for a society to run and flourish, without Saturn it's not possible actually. I'm talking about whole perspective into consideration. I'm not talking into minor one into consideration here. If you look into your life actually, come to your life. Don't go much broader. Try to funnel it down to your own life. There are total 12 houses in Vedic astrology. Look where Saturn is posited. That is going to be the area where Saturn is going to put forth a lot of restriction. If it is in the 5th house of your children, very difficult to obtain a child. Very difficult. Now, I'm not saying Saturn is a planet of denial. Saturn never deny anything. Saturn is a planet of surety. Like, I'm surely going to give you this thing. If I'm in the 7th house of marriage, I'm going to delay the event of marriage, but definitely I promise it. Like, I'm going to give you marriage. Now, it doesn't matter it's a good marriage or it's a bad marriage, but the event fructification is Saturn. Suppose you are applying for a different job interviews, not finding a job. The very first job that you get is Saturn. That is that surety, like I'm going to give you something. So Saturn is that thing. Your monthly paycheck that you are receiving is Saturn. Because Saturn not only controls Capricorn, it controls the sign of Aquarius. Now Aquarius is your money, incoming gains. Your capacity to generate more than one income stream in your life is also governed by Saturn. Saturn or the sign of Aquarius is that energy that have the capacity to generate multiple income sources. Your capacity to do contribution in the society is also Saturn. How valuable you are becoming to this universe is also the Saturn, because how you are going to become a valuable person. First of all, you need to go through a lot of hardships, lot of training, lot of things. So Saturn is that chiseling part. Suppose you want to make a very good sculpture or one idol of Lord Shiva out of one piece of stone. What you are going to do, you will take that hammer and chisel and then carve it. Saturn is also going to chisel your character in such a way so that you came out to be a better human being. That is why this is the planet of restrictions. That is going to impose a lot of restrictions in your life and you cannot go out of that restrictions. This is the only single most planet that is having the rings around the Saturn. Okay, Lord of the Rings. I'm wearing one ring right now. This ring is also Saturn. Wedding rings are also Saturn. Any ring or any ring like of a structure is also Saturn. If you are feeling restrained, restrictions, defeated in your life, that is Saturn. Failures are also represented by Saturn. The ability of a person to fail in their life and then with lot of failures come to that one position, that is also Saturn. Saturn is also responsible for all the processes. Process of making a car, process of making soap, process of making anything, any process is governed by Shani Graha. Because process is the certain set of rules and regulations that you need to follow to reach to the end product. If you are starting from point A and then you are reaching to point B, in between there are different methods, that is Saturn. All the manufacturing hub, all the manufacturing facilities that are maybe building car, ships or any other thing, any construction thing or any manufacturing facilities are also governed by Saturn. So this is the planet that actually governs most of the things. Okay, I told you without Saturn very difficult to function. Now, one of the most important thing, Saturn is actually exalted in the sign of Libra. Libra is ruled by Venus, and Venus is the planet of the love life and the relationships. Now, what Saturn have to do with the sign of Libra? Libra, if you look at the zodiac sign of Libra, there is a balancer. So, Saturn, why it is exalted in the Libra? Because Saturn have the capacity to create a perfect balance. The balance between good and bad. The balance between materialistic and the spiritual side of the life. The balance between the professional and the personal side. Balance between the personal and the family life. So, balance is created by Shani. That is the planet of judgment, which gives judgment. If you are filing a court case, you are right now in front of the judge, and the honorable court is going to give its decision based over the different lawyers, whatever they have. So, that judgment part, final judgment, is Saturn. So, you understand how important this graha. All the law and order is also governed by Shani graha. Now, this is also the planet. If Shani graha is actually operating very positively in the chart, then I will tell you, you are a gift to this society. Very valuable gift. Because you have the capacity to give something to the society, or you have the capacity to create something in the society that will go for eons and eons and eons. And if Saturn is badly posited in the Kundli, I will tell you, complete life is going to be full of struggle. Challenges after challenges, challenges after challenges, hardships after hardships, hardship after hardship. And that is why Saturn is the only planet which gives a Sade Sati. That is a 7.5 year long period which is governed by planet Saturn. Now, Sade Sati simply mean, in your horoscope, in whichever zodiac sign, planet Moon is posited. Moon is your mind, okay? Suppose Moon is posited in the third zodiac sign. Third sign is of Gemini. So, whenever Saturn comes to the second zodiac sign, that is Taurus, so Saturn is going to stay up there for 2.5 years. Then this will go into the third zodiac sign, Gemini, stay up there for 2.5 years. Then next into fourth zodiac sign, that is Cancer, stays up there for more 2.5 years. So, 2.5 plus 2.5 plus 2.5, that comes out to be 7.5 year of long period, which is known as Sade Sati. Every person in their lifetime, they go through Sade Sati. Every person I'm talking about, there is no one who is going to escape from the karmic grips of the Saturn. Now, in that Sade Sati, Saturn, whenever is going to transit through that first zodiac sign, previous to Moon, so Saturn is going to create mental impact, mental sufferings. Then this will go over planet Moon, physical sufferings. Congestion is happening, you feel suffocated. And then lastly, in this next, when Saturn in the last 2.5 years, this is going to release you from its energy or release you from its grip. That is why all the grips is also represented by Saturn. Saturn have the capacity to grip your life in such a way so that you can abide by certain rules and regulations, and these are necessary. That is why Surya, that is complete opposite to Saturn, is debilitated in the sign of Libra. Now, on the other hand, Sun represents the king, and king don't want to follow the rules actually. Rules are meant for normal people. Rules are not meant for kings. You can break the rules. Rules are only meant for normal people. That is why Saturn represents that normal people. Rules are not meant for big politicians or big persons. That caged society, and you see rapidly in the 21st century, more restrictions, more you need to pay more tax, there are lack of infrastructure development, lack of this thing. So, you see Saturn energy is somewhat getting depleted. And Saturn is keeping a check over the karmas of all the persons that are doing that bad things. And mark my words, when Saturn Sade Sati will come, that is 7.5 year of long period, this is the result period. No remedy is going to work for Sade Sati. Keep this thing in your mind. I have seen people coming to me for taking consultations in their Sade Sati, and they are crying, literally crying in front of me. They have did something wrong, maybe towards their family members. They have left their parents abandoned. Wait until you get married, you are having your own kids, and you will reach to your old age. The similar karma is going to hit you back. Similar karma. You cannot escape the karma. Karam or karma is Saturn. 21st century is a Karam Pradhan. Karam mean 21st century is more based over the karmas. If you are going to do good karma, Saturn is going to give you good results, because Saturn is the exaltation of Libra is represented by Saturn. So if one person is performing the good deeds or good activity, Saturn will definitely going to bless that person with good things. But on the other hand, suppose you are doing cheating over your spouse or life partner, you are involved in money laundering, taking the money of other people, or maybe you are doing some sort of adharma. Adharma means which is not right. And every person is having that inner instinct inside that person, that is Jupiter. What is right, what is wrong. Jupiter is present inside every one of you. But still, few people are committing bad mistakes again, or bad sins also. And Saturn is keeping a check over all that thing. Wait until Sade Sati. Even this is the planet that governs a 19 years long period of Saturn Mahadasha. Now, sometime I have seen many individuals flourishing in their 19 years of long period of Saturn Mahadasha, whereas for most of the people, this dasha is also going to be a very painful kind of a dasha. Now, many will say, I have not did that amount of bad karmas in this present life and still I am suffering a lot. Why is it so? This is because of your past life deeds also. Sometime it becomes very difficult for a human being, and that is applicable to only human beings, not to animals, to receive the results of their karmas in only one janma, so that you will going to take the next janma. Saturn is debilitated in the sign of Aries. Aries is ruled by Mars. Mars is the planet that represents the first zodiac sign, why you have came into existence. And that is where Saturn is actually getting debilitated. Saturn don't want you to take a rebirth in this universe. Saturn want you to do the karma settlement and free your soul up. There is no need for you to get back to the sign of Aries again and again. That is why this planet is debilitated up there. Whereas Sun is exalted in the sign of Aries, because Sun represents politician, big people. So these people, they need normal people. They need to do that all the mundane activities. So they need something. They need hospital. They need doctors. They need lawyers. They need everything. They need teachers. They need college professors to teach the students. Only then economy is going to run. Otherwise, every system will get completely collapsed. So that is why Sun is exalted. Sun want you to come. Saturn don't want you to come. Saturn want you to do the karma settlement and then escape it. No need for you to come back again. That is why many people, after facing lot of challenges, hardships, and pain and sufferings and everything, they stick with spirituality. And that is where you are going to learn one of the most important lessons of Saturn. That is connecting with the spiritual side of the life more rather than with materialistic side or any other thing. Saturn is also the planet of abandoned things or detachment, completely detached from everything. And Saturn is going to do that kind of a thing. Many a times when Saturn is coming over the moon, people will do like, oh my goodness, I feel like I'm committing suicide right now. I'm not dying, but everything is happening with me. These kind of situations are also governed by Saturn. Now you see, there is certain positive aspects, but most of the aspects are actually negative. It also based upon your perception, because Saturn is a planet of perception. This is the graha that have the capacity to reshape the human being's perception. Some might going to consider drinking as a good habit or as a bad habit. But if you go to European countries or some other, they drink wine on regular basis. It's normal for them. So why is it normal for these people and why it's for taboo for some other people? So taboo is also represented by Shani Graha. Shani is also the planet that based over the Desh, Kal and Patra, the kind of circumstances. If you are born and brought up into some African continent, there is lot of poverty, nothing is up there, whereas the other person is born somewhere in the else part of maybe Indian in some good environment. So they are going to have same, suppose two people born on same time in that same continents. So there are going to be difference in the lives of these two natives. Why that difference is there? This is also Shani Graha. This is the most wonderful and most sureful planet. I will tell you, in whichever house Saturn is posited, that is the main challenge or main roadblock in front of you. It's not necessary like the roadblock or the challenge only going to lies up there. Saturn is having 3 aspects actually. There is 3rd aspect of the Saturn, 7th aspect and the 10th aspect of the Saturn. Aspect means drishti. Like Saturn is seeing this thing and this thing. So the aspects, for example, Saturn is posited in the 1st house. This is aspecting with its 3rd aspect your 3rd house. 1, 2, 3. With its 3rd aspect, with its 7th aspect aspecting 7th house. 10th aspect aspecting the 10th house. So wherever the Saturn is aspecting, keys lies up there. You can open up one key, then you will find 2nd key. Then you can open up 2nd key, you will find 3rd key. You will open up the 3rd key and then you will find the solutions. That is why planet Saturn also represents solution. You see, there are different questions. If you going to appear in an examination, you will find different questions. The solution part which you are going to give is actually Saturn. Based upon that thing, you are going to get the marks. Maybe 90 out of 100. Or all that mark system is also represented by Shani Graha. Saturn is also one of the most dominating planets in the businessman kundalis. That are, I told you na, if you want to see whether this person is a gift towards the society or not, look into the Saturn. Saturn represents the used value of a person. Like what is your self-worth? Self-worth is not based over the kind of big mansion or big house you are living or the big car you are driving. That is not your true worth. Self-worth of a native is totally depending upon their own self-capabilities. So that self-capability of a person, how capable you are, is a Shani. This is the planet that have the capacity to operate on the single-handed basis. Complete single-handed basis. Saturn is also the planet, as I told you, this is the graha, Karmic Graha, or this represents the Karam or all the karmas. Now if Saturn is in conjunction with other planets, Saturn is conjunction with Rahu, Ketu or any these things, major karmas there. And the unfoldment of karma will going to come into either Sade Sati or either in Saturn Mahadasha, Antardasha or these kind of things. But there is no way you can fight with this planet. No way, you have no, we human beings are not capable to fight with this planet. The only way to actually obey this planet, give respect towards this planet, give respect towards the people of the lower class. If the maid is coming in your home for cleaning purposes, that is Saturn, and you are paying disrespect to that maid, you are depleting your Saturn. If there is a watchman sitting in front of your gate, every time you are coming out, leaving out, that is going to do you this thing, okay, Jai Hind sir, and this kind of a thing, and you are not replying, you are depleting your Saturn. It is only because of Saturn you have gained that kind of a status because of normal people. That is why in the business world, Saturn is the representation of the customers actually. How well you are going to serve your customers is also represented by Shani Graha. What kind of a customer base you are going to attract is also represented by Saturn. Repeated customers are also Saturn because Saturn is the planet of repetition. All the repeat and redundant activities, you are working in a manufacturing facility and you need to just punch one machine day and night. That is repetition. So repetition in every way. Some repeated customers are coming to you. That repeated customers are also Saturn. The foundation of every business is also based over the repeated customers. Many big business companies, big organizations, they spend millions, even billions of dollars for retaining the customers, so that our customer, they get used to our products only. I'm not blaming anyone here. I'm not taking the name of any company or any product or any service. That is why this is the kark of addictions. If you are addicted to something, this is Shani. It's not only don't think like that only alcohol or like drinking this comes under addiction. No. Other form of addictions. Watching news daily is also addiction. Drinking, smoking, I understand these are addictions. Sexual addictions, you are addicted. Very difficult for you to now. Suppose you are emotionally attached with someone and that person is leaving you and you are having a lot of pain. You will not be able to move on or jump from one relation to new. Why so? Saturn. This is creating a grip over your mind. You will experience the pain inside you. Please don't leave me. Saturn is a karmic graha. It shows the karmic attachment with certain persons in your life. Few are coming for certain duration of time, staying up there and then leaving. Your parents are also not going to stay with you for longer duration of time. They are going to die one day. Every person, every atom, every molecule that you see into existence, sometime they might going to die. They are going to get depleted also. That is why Saturn rules over the death of a native. If you want to see near about death circumstances, look into Saturn. Saturn is also a very peacemaker kind of a planet actually. All the peaceful movements. You see in India, there are many protests going on against government. Farmers are protesting. Many people are protesting for like give us these things or maybe do this thing, please government help me, please do this thing. These people are Saturn and government is not paying much respect towards these people. Wait until election time is going to come. Saturn is going to give its judgment then, whether you are going to get successful or you will face defeat. There are very few people that have capacity to handle defeat in the positive manner. Very few people that have the capacity to accept their defeats also. And that is totally opposite. That is Surya. Ego. Big ego. Narcissistic personalities. They are not feeling sorry. If you are feeling sorry, it means Saturn is operating in a very positive manner. But on the other hand, if you are not feeling sorry for the kind of mistakes that you have done in your life, you are depleting it. Even the bones inside a person's skeletal system is Saturn. Skeletal system, structure. Without bones, very difficult for human being to stand actually. That is the core foundation. So the core existence, even planet Earth is having that core inside it. Anything which is core is Saturn. I hope you are understanding what I'm trying to say here. This is one of the most wonderful planets. If you go into study, I will make this video 10 hours long, like teaching about Saturn. There are many things. You see I'm right now standing inside one boundary. This is the boundary of my home. That boundary starts from here and goes up there, okay? Complete boundary, circular boundary. So that complete circular boundary is actually Saturn. That is why this is the planet of protection. That is offering me protection, that is offering my family, my parents. So that is offering the protection. So this is the protection giving planet. Many might going to consider like this is superimposition. Someone wants to control me. Saturn is not controlling you, baby. It's just setting some boundaries around you so that at least you feel protected. Saturn have the capacity to give you protection. Char Diwari, jails, asylums, going into jail is also seen from Saturn. That is also restrictions, na? So I hope you have gained some deep insights regarding Shani in this video. If you are having any queries, any consultations with regards to Saturn placement or any other thing, so don't hesitate to get in touch with me or my email ID. If you require any consultations, want to know your future insights, feel free to contact me at my email ID. And please don't forget to subscribe my channel below. Please subscribe it, subscribe button, hit it. This is going to give me the motivation. You can send me super thanks also if you find some interesting content of Vedic astrology on this YouTube channel, Cooking Astrology. All the cooking have nothing to do with my channel, but you can feel free to subscribe, send me super thanks, share this channel with your friends, family members. Just share it, okay? Sharing is also Shani. If you are going to share or spread this knowledge, air element or the sign of Aquarius in your chart is getting activated. And please, you can follow me on Instagram as well. And I'm going to meet you very, very soon in the next video. Till then, Hare Krishna and Om Namah Shivaya.